Good afternoon. I'm joined here at ISNTD D3 by Dr. Cameron Durrant, Chairman and CEO at KaloBios Pharmaceuticals based in California. So very warm welcome to you. We're delighted you could be with us today. I think it's very exciting times for the company, and just wanted to hear a bit more from you. This is quite a new role for yourself.
Yes, it is. So I joined the board on the 7th of January and took the CEO role on from the 1st of March. So I've been with the company for a relatively short period of time, but we've made some significant accomplishments in that short period of time. The company has had quite a challenging time toward the end of last year. So it was in bankruptcy, had significant lawsuits against it, clinical trials had stopped. The company's stock was delisted from NASDAQ, a major stock exchange in the United States. And there's a huge amount of reputational hoo-ha related to the previous management of the company.
Wow, quite a wide scope of challenges
Yes.
there for you. So how are you going about now to address those issues, or what is your vision medium term and long term for the company?
Well, one of the most important things we believe is to declare exactly what the company is focused on early in this turnaround. And our focus now is to bring medicines to patients with neglected and rare diseases. So we have a couple of compounds in our pipeline already, and we are very interested in developing further partnerships with other companies to put even more compounds into our pipeline.
So at KaloBios Pharmaceuticals, are you focusing on specific diseases within tropical and rare diseases?
Yes, we are. So on the neglected tropical disease side of things, we are particularly focused right now on Chagas disease. We're also interested in a range of other neglected tropical diseases, which would include dengue, Zika virus, Ebola, and a whole range of others, but those are probably the major focus right now. We, on the rare disease side, have programs in place for certain types of leukemia. Some of these types of leukemia are particularly rare, and there isn't a great deal, if any, drug development being done. So we think that that could bridge into other types of leukemia or into treatment of other rare cancers, particularly those that affect children.
I guess that's the big challenge that the neglected and tropical disease field faces.
Yes.
So how do you feel that a smaller company might be able to accomplish these things when there's funding challenges and clinical trial challenges? What would be the advantages, in a way, of being smaller rather than a much larger entity?
Well, there's always going to be challenges. One of the benefits of being a smaller company is you can get very focused. There's fewer people to corral and to get lined up with the vision. But also the speed of decision making is much, much quicker. I've operated in pretty senior roles in some of the biggest pharmaceutical companies that exist, and there's plenty of great ideas. It can sometimes take an awfully long time for those to trickle through the organization and get funded. So we're also fortunate that we're working with investors who've been extremely supportive of the new plan. We believe that we will be emerging from bankruptcy toward the end of the summer. We already have additional financing to support some of our programs to critical stages of development. We're going to be rebuilding the board and the management team, and as I mentioned, the product pipeline is critically important to us. One of the other things that we've been able to do as a small company, which I imagine would be extremely challenging in bigger environments, is stake out our responsible pricing model. We believe this to be a concrete and different approach to pricing pharmaceutical products than has been laid out previously. And we're able to do that in part because we have such support within and around the company, and we can make decisions quickly.
Could you elaborate a little bit more on the new model, because that is really one of the challenges the whole pharmaceutical sector as a whole is
Yes.
facing. It's just rethinking models and perhaps hearing a bit more from you, which would really give a lot of
Sure.
insights.
Well, another benefit of being in a smaller company is you can come up with a lot of ideas and hopefully have them permeate much more quickly. So we are also setting out the idea of being transformative and bringing ideas to a broader range of constituents. Those ideas are beyond just pricing, but pricing is a very important topic. It's a very hot topic right now in the pharmaceutical space. Our model is based essentially on three things. The first and most important is transparency. So we intend to be fully transparent in terms of what constitutes the various elements that make up the pricing of pharmaceutical products. For example, manufacturing, clinical development, distribution, marketing, and so on. The second piece of the model is affordability to patients and payers. And we plan to further engage with a whole range of stakeholders to better understand what affordability means. And the third piece is for the company to garner a reasonable return for having taken the risk of developing these products and bringing them through market to patients. That also is going to be part of the conversation with various stakeholders. For example, payer groups, advocacy groups, clinicians, policymakers, and so on. So we want to foster a collaborative conversation with people that we believe should have a direct decision-making role to play in pricing.
Gosh, that could really shape things for the entire sector, and it seems you're really embracing the multi-stakeholder and partnership model of bringing things forward. So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. And I hope you've enjoyed the day.
I have.
Is there anyone specifically here, or even in the sort of wider tropical disease arena, that you would like to partner or hear more from?
Yeah, well, we think that partnership is at the very heart of what we want to stake out as a new company. So as we execute the turnaround, we really see ourselves as having hit the reset button and being a new company. Partnership can mean a whole load of different things, but we think that there's partnerships at the level of R&D collaborations. So listening to some people in other pharmaceutical companies as well as in the NGO world. It's very important. We also think that there are different models around commercialization. And again, we think that NGOs are going to be critical to creating access to some of these products, particularly in less developed markets. And the third area where we think that there's an opportunity for transformation is how pharmaceutical drug development is financed. So we have some ideas about that, which we think are unconventional. And for us, we think they make sense. They might not make sense to every company, just as our responsible pricing model might not make sense to every company, and they may or may not wish to emulate it. But for us, it's very important to state these out clearly early.
Well, that's a very refreshing view, and we look forward to seeing how this unfolds in the next few weeks and months, and hopefully hear from you soon with some very positive updates. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure speaking with you.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Thank you.